Good morning. We're going to get started in a couple of minutes. Please find your way up to some seats. There's a lot of empty seats up here. Get closer. Also, don't forget to double check where you're working before you grab your IEP. Federal would be the green cover IEP, state red covered IEP. Thank you. Good morning. Welcome to the operational briefing for the park incident for the operational period of August 30th through the 31st, 0700 to 0700 hours. My name is Gabe Garcia. I'm the planning section chief. I'd like to ask you to please mute your phones, silence your radios, and keep all sidebar conversations down. I want to get started by saying that we received news last night of a line of duty death. I would like you to join me in a moment of silence for fire apparatus engineer Christopher Ward, the BEU unit, and family. Moment of silence, please. Thank you. We're going to get started with our incident objectives. Our management objectives provide for emergency personnel and public safety at all times, protect property improvements and infrastructure, ensure costs are aligned with mission priorities, ensure coordinated, timely, and accurate release of public information, continue to enhance and maintain positive relationships with all local partners, cooperators, and stakeholders, protect economic, natural, cultural, and heritage resources, implement fire suppression repair activities in accordance with approved suppression repair plans. Control objectives: keep the fire within the current fire perimeter. Current situation, operations.
Hey, good morning. Joe Parr, operations with the Unified Command, representing the Last National Forest. So yesterday, not a lot of change out there. Branch 10 and 12, 15 and 18 are all in patrol status. They're addressing any concerns as they're identified. Suppression repair, we got the resources aligned with their current missions, and they're continuing on with those operations. Down in Hazard Tree and the Roads Group, they continue to make good progress down Ponderosa Way. End of report.
Up next with weather and fire behavior analyst.
Good morning, Stephen Vollmer, fire behavior analyst. So we're going to see this trend of warming and drying continue through the weekend. Down here in the lower elevations today, we're looking at temperatures upwards of 100 degrees. Up on the mountain, we're looking at about 89 degrees into the low 90s. The humidity is going to continue to drop. Right now, we've got some pretty low humidity levels up there. We haven't seen any overnight humidity recovery, and what did recover was very slight. Up on the upper elevations in the mountains, we can expect to see humidity in the mid-20s today. Down here in the lower elevations, we can expect to see humidity in the mid-teens. We're going to continue with that northeast-southwest wind. So during the day, we're going to have that southwest push up through the drainages like Deer Creek and Mill Creek. And during the evening, we're going to get the reverse of that. The northeast winds are going to come down those drainages. We're looking at wind speeds 5 to 10 miles an hour, gusting to 15. There's going to be a slight cool down, and by slight I mean only a couple of degrees, occurring Sunday and Monday. However, that's going to be followed by a large increase in temperature and dryness again. We're going to expect by Wednesday to see the lower elevations down here in the low 100s. Up on the mountain, however, we're going to expect to see about 10 degrees different, so it will be warmer on the mountaintops than it is today, but conditions will be very favorable up there. There is 0% chance of precipitation over the next couple of days. There was a possibility of a slight thunder or a small thunderstorm coming through the area, but that's only about a 2% risk right now. Up on the mountain with your fire behavior, if we get into that timber model and we get a new ignition or something comes out of this fire, we can expect to see rates of spread still pretty low at about 14 feet per minute. However, the spotting distance is going to be a little over a quarter of a mile. The probability of ignition is 68%. So we're going to expect to see those numbers increase over the next couple of days, decrease a little bit on Sunday and Monday, and then really increase next week. Down in the lower elevations with the grass and the brush, we can expect to see rates of spread 38 feet per minute, and in the brush 50 feet per minute with a spotting distance of about a quarter mile. There is currently a fuel and fire behavior advisory issued for pretty much the entire state of California for the abundant grass crop that's out here. They've got grass crops in areas where they should not have grass crops, so just be real heads up on that and review that fuel and fire behavior advisory. Currently, the ERCs and the BI are about 85%. Those are going to dip just a little bit over on Monday. However, next week those are going to climb to above seasonal levels.
Up next, your safety officers.
Morning, Mike Gillespie from the Safety Shop Southwest Team 2.
Good morning, Jack Wharton, Park Incident Safety Officer.
So we're going to both speak this morning, but keep in mind what he speaks about and what I speak about pertains to everybody on this fire. Safety is not divided by a line on the fire. So today is a big day. It's a transition day. A lot of things can happen during transition day. Folks are getting switched from one end of the fire to the other end of the fire. Radios are changing, leadership is changing, a lot of changes. So please, before you go out, make sure you know who you're working for. You have your radios cloned. If you don't know that, do not leave here until you do know that. With that, driving. And I know you've probably heard this for a while. Driving. There's nothing out there worth us speeding to get out there, okay? We're in the suppression repair mode. Take your time. You're no good if you're in an accident before you get to your job.
Thank you, Mike. On behalf of Team 6, we'd like to say thank you to all those here who have utilized the tools that we've given you to keep our safety record at where it is today. But on behalf of the Tehama Glen unit and with Southwest Team 2, the job isn't finished yet. So keep utilizing these tools, utilizing these safety briefings, and briefing your crews before you go out to the line. With that, have a safe shift and thank you.
Make good decisions today.
Air operations.
Good morning, Tom Swanson, Air Operations, Team 6.
Good morning, Natalie Bench, Air Operations Trainee on Southwest Team 2.
We have 2 helicopters assigned out of Vina Helitack Base, one Type 2 with crew, and Copter 606, the Vina Firehawk, available for day hoist. We have our, Air Guard 840 available out of Reading, available for 24-hour hoist ship with 2 medics on board.
Just to reiterate, we don't have a TFR over this fire. For our side, we have a Type 3 helicopter arriving today, Helicopter 503. And you guys have a great day. If you have any questions, please refer to your 220. And if you need aviation, please order through your chain of command. Thank you.
Thank you. Up next, medical unit leaders.
Good morning, Luke McAlpine Medical for the state side.
Good morning, Todd Miranda, Medical Section Chief for the Southwest Team 2.
Today in both IAPs, you're going to find a 206 for both the state and the federal. On the state side, it's on page 24. Your resources today are going to be 2 teams of line medics, 1 REMS team, and back here in base camp, we have Calmat's going home today, but Mert's going to stay through the weekend. Please understand that if there's a medical need, we're going to share resources. We're going to get you the help that you need as soon as possible. We have resources in your IAP to tell you how we perform our medical reporting procedures, whether you're on the state or the federal side. However, if you get confused, I need to know what emergency you have and where you are, and we're going to get you the resources you need.
Yeah, so as we divide up the incidents, there is that potential for some confusion. We want to make sure we cut down on that as much as possible. The best way you can kind of do that tactically out in the field is know where your closest medical resource is, know how long it's going to take for them to get to you, and know how we're going to communicate out to the larger team to support you to get that person that's injured to definitive care. So on the federal side, we use the medical incident report. It is on the back of your green IAPs. Please reference that today. If you got some downtime, look through it. It's designed to be a quick, down and dirty, here's what we've got, here's what we need. We're going to send you help. Take care of each other out there today.
Have a great day.
Thank you. Communications.
Good morning, John Brooks, Communications Unit Leader, Team 6.
Martin Johns, Communication Unit Leader, Southwest Team 2.
So for the red IAPs on the state side, you'll find your 205 on page 22 this morning. Please turn there. We're going to go through the entire thing with you. While you're getting there, a couple of things to note. On the state side, we are no longer utilizing Park Communications. We will be talking directly to the ECC, which is labeled Red Bluff. As you look at that 205, all those channels that are identified in there are all in the standard state required load, so everybody working on the state side should have those. With that being said, the expectation of Team 6 is you ensure that you have all channels that are identified in the 205 in your radio prior to leaving camp. Just on the other side of the comm van to your left, we do have cloning set up for both the state and the federal side. There is 2 different loads. If you've been on this incident for any duration, you will have every channel either side. But you will be if you get cloned, you will lined up with exactly what the 205 says. So again, just on the other side of the comm van, highly recommend take a look at your radio and head over there if you have any doubt in your mind. If you will be transferring or switching beside sides at any point, make sure you do get both clones. So looking at that 205, on the state side, we'll be utilizing CDF Command 7 Tone 1 for your tactical assignments patrol group, CDF TAC 20. And for all FSR groups, you'll be on CDF TAC 21. In the event you need to make a request for any aircraft, we will be utilizing CDF Air to Ground 8. And the last thing I have for you is anybody who is on the state side that has any equipment you no longer need, now would be the time to check it in because we will be transferring any of that equipment over to our partners. Their camp will be moved, and you'll have to turn that stuff in over at their camp before you can demob for here.
Like everybody said many times this morning, there's a clone. He's pointed out where the clone is at. Make sure if you're on the federal side that you do go get your clone. The channel lineup and assignments have changed. Your assignments are on your 204s, and your divisions will inform you of what tax and everything you use in your breakouts. Park Communications will be opening up at Chester at 0700 this morning. So if you need to get a hold of us, get on the NIFC repeater command channels and contact Park Communications.
Thank you. Up next with roll call and incident assignments. Resource Unit Leader and Day Operations.
Good morning, Mark Thomas, Resources.
Good morning, Chad Rice, Southwest Team 2 Operations.
Good morning, Chris Matthews, Park Operations for the Tehama Glen Unit.
Roll call for the Tehama Zone. Tehama Branch, Pedersen. Fire Suppression Repair Group 1, Scraner. Novak. Fire Suppression Repair Group 2, Moa. Johnson. Townsend, trainee. Fire Suppression Repair Group 3, Dietz. Resendez, trainee. Little. Fire Suppression Repair Group 4, Cottrell. And we have Red Bluff Staging, Serrano.
All right, folks. So on the suppression side of this for the Tehama Glen Unit, we have 2 engine strike teams and some additional resources patrolling through branches 10, 12, 15, and 18, responding to calls for service, looking for smokes, assisting wherever they can to be of benefit. As far as fire suppression repair goes, thank you all again for the tremendous work you've been doing out there. Every day we get closer and closer to completing what we need to complete to hand this back over to the Tehama Glen Unit in one complete package. So keep working hard. Thank you again, and have a safe shift.
Roll call for the federal side. Branch 15, Kreminski. Here. Suppression Repair Group 5, Gustafson. Here. Bernie. Rhodes Group, Sawyer. Here. Strohmeyer. Here. Hazard Tree Group, Guffey. Here. Branch 18, Arthur. Here. Suppression Repair Group 7, Tavares. Here. Bostwick.
So Southwest Team 2 is assuming the implementation of the suppression repair and rehab on the federal lands within the Lhasa National Forest. So we stood up our 2 branches, and within those 2 branches we continued the 2 suppression repair groups, Group 7 and Group 5, and then we have a hazards tree group and the roads group. And that's to implement all the suppression repair to minimize the impacts that the Lhasa National Forest has identified to those values at risk and all their resources.
Thank you. Up next with closing comments, your incident commanders.
Good morning, Jeremy Gagne, one of the Unified Incident Commanders on the park, representing the Tehama Glen Unit.
John Truitt.
Yeah, give it a second. Yeah.
John Truitt. He set me up for that one. John Truitt, Incident Commander, Southwest Team 2.
Hey, good morning, folks. Todd Abel, Deputy Incident Commander, Southwest Team 2.
So, as you've heard mentioned several times, I think the theme of the day is attention to detail. You have commos, you have routing instructions, you have different leadership, but the message stays the same. Keep focused on the work assignments that you've been given, making sure that you understand what your assignment is today and who you're working for. It is imperative for the success of this incident that we continue to move forward at the pace that you guys are doing. It is not unnoticed. We've been here for a long time. All of us have been here for a long time. So keep the pace that you have. This is a marathon, and you have been given good leadership and good work assignments to get us to the finish line. Keep doing what you're doing, and make sure when you get out there, you get a good hard day's work in.
All right, and also, again, want to thank CAL FIRE, Team 6, the NEMO team, and all the other agencies that have set us up for success on this whole transition. Like I said, this is you guys have been in a dogfight for a while now, and the dogfight's going to continue. Just don't have too much smoke in the air. It's a tough piece of ground out there. Still a lot of moving parts, a lot of complexity to go on where your assignments are. So again, reiterate, know where you're going and know who you're working for. Again, I want to turn it over to Deputy Incident Commander Todd Abel, and he'll do the closing comments on it. And again, thank you all for being here and your efforts. Team 2 is here to serve you all. If you have any concerns, issues, or anything, make sure you contact one of us, and we'll make things right for you. We're here for your safety out there on the line. Thanks.
I'm going to close it out. A couple last things here real quick. I need everybody to pay close attention. It doesn't matter what side of the fire you're working on for today. Both teams are very adamant about common operating picture, making sure you folks know what you're doing today, who you're working for, the leadership out there. There's a lot of changes today. So both teams are here for you folks standing, listening to this briefing today. Like I said, it doesn't matter what part of the fire you're on. We need to make sure that common operating picture is correct. So if there's any questions there, you heard it today. There's a ton of moving parts, 2 comm plans, a couple different medical plans, different stuff than what you've been used to. So please pay attention. Visit with your fire line leadership. I don't know if that's going to be a division soup, a task force leader, a strike team leader, whatever it is. Make sure you have that information. Everything from camps, where you're going. Everybody's coming back here tonight, but that'll change in the future, the near future here. So make sure you have that common operating picture, not only for taking care of you folks out there, but also those work assignments. You'll see on the federal side, there's task, purpose, end state in the task book, or on the 204, in the IAP. Take a look at that task, purpose, end state. If it's not understood, visit with your division soups and make sure you understand that, and have a great day. Thanks.
Thank you. Before you move, I have a few important announcements. Please attend your branch division breakouts, which are clearly marked on the backside of briefing here. Unassigned resources at the table. Planning meeting at 1700 today. Tomorrow there will be 2 separate operational briefings at 0700. Federal side is going to be here, outside, and state side is going to be inside the auditorium, that building right here behind you. We're going to have it clearly marked, so please make sure that you attend your breakouts, get roll call, resource accountability, and know where you're going to go. Also, remember to pick up a red IEP if you're on the state side, pick up a green one if you're on the federal side. That concludes our briefing. Thank you.